crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Jones here with Rock in the Valley, and it is Wake Up, Rise Up, the weekly show. And tonight we got a special guest with us, a gentleman who I met last year in the beginnings of this entire thing, and we shared mutual insanity and exhaustion. Shaun Tonks from the UK. Shaun and myself were able to get this thing up online last year for the first time, and I gotta say, Shaun, you did a great job of broadcasting last year. You were running it and taking pieces as it was coming in. You know, I got the mechanics set up beforehand, and I was kind of your backup a little bit. I couldn't see your screen to save my life because it was you got this real, I don't know how the whole differences worked out, but I couldn't see what you were doing. But anyway, we did a great job, and it's been a real great thing knowing you too. You become a good friend. So how you doing, Shaun?
I'm good, mate. You?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's been a great experience being part of Wake Up, Rise Up, and getting to know what's going on here. You said you've been updating all the websites. You've been getting all the different acts kind of together over on your end there. With let's put it like this: what's going on? I mean, you're one of the top 3 people in Wake Up, Rise Up. You, Doug, and Carmen are basically the core group that started Wake Up, Rise Up. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't go as far to call us the main 3 because there's a lot of important people involved, especially in this year. But yeah, me, Doug, and Carmen started Wake Up, Rise Up. As for the acts and compiling them, they're trickling in, but they're pretty slow considering we've got 29 stages and counting. It's pretty slow.
Yeah, and I'm one of them that's holding up, so I apologize.
Yeah, that's the count today. 29 stages. All right, there might only be 1 song or 2 songs on one stage, but it's still 29 stages around the world.
Yeah, and I don't mean to take credit away from anybody else who was involved with this. And I know that when I first got involved with Wake Up, Rise Up, I know I talked to Carmen, I talked to Doug, and of course you and I ended up working together. And really, I'll be honest with you, you were the main reason I jumped in. Okay, your background in IT.
Am I that good looking?
You're gorgeous. I'm telling you. You make Carl Malden.
In my day, maybe. In my day.
In your day. I mean, when I saw you, I thought to myself, Carl Malden is no longer chic. He's never going to make GQ. And, for those of you who don't know Carl Malden, we always have Rodney Dangerfield. So, but, yeah, there you go. But, yeah, if it wouldn't have been for what you knew, I know that this is such a last year for 26 hours. Actually, you were shooting for 12, and you're going to repeat the whole thing. It just turns into a monster. It does. And we're looking at what, 48 hours at this. I mean, I know you were saying 40, but it's probably going to be 48.
I think if things keep on going the way they're going now, and with some of the contacts, some of the extra contacts and hosts, and I will point out Nick Prince for this because he's bringing in a hell of a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's bringing stages in from Moldova. One from I think it's just Dominic, but it's in the Caribbean. It's not the Dominion Republic, but it's
the Dominican Republic.
yeah, it's not actually that. It's called Dominican. It's a state. It's an island on its own.
Oh, is it? Okay. I know he was telling me about that. Yeah, he was telling me about that down there. He was doing a whole stage setup down there. Then he was doing some stuff. He went through an entire setup, 3 separate stages he's working on, plus some ideas for next year. That he doesn't think he'll get them under the wire for this year, but definitely for next year.
Yeah, it's called Dominica.
Okay. So, so what drove you and Doug and Carmen together on this? So you guys get started.
Phase 5 Records. I suppose to cut a long story short, I met Doug through a young lady by the name of Alice Blakemore. And we kind of hit it off pretty well instantly. And Doug turned around to me and said, well, how do you feel like starting a UK wing of Phase 5 Records? And I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. And he set me a date for the 1st of January 2021. And so and behold, on the 1st of January 2021, Phase 5 UK Limited was born. And once that happened, he kind of, I don't know, he saw something in me. I'll put it that way. He saw something in me. And we all got together, me, Doug and Carmen, and this was after the shooting of George Myers. And we basically, where it came from, but Wake Up Rise Up has come from Doug's song, the name, Wake Up Rise Up, Our Lives Matter. And we were thrashing about with different dates here, there and everywhere. And I just suggested as a bit of a laugh, what about September 21st, which is my birthday? Didn't think anything else of it. And it kind of got grabbed hold of because it's the International Day of Peace for the United Nations. And it worked straight away, 21st September, you know what I mean?
It's interesting. Yeah, that's neat. Your birthday and the International Day of Peace. Who would have thought? You know, and you know, Doug's an interesting individual. You know, I've gotten to know Doug over the last year. And, I've gotten involved in a project or two with him, and very positive man, very influential, very uplifting. Definitely the heartbeat. And I'm not saying Carmen isn't. She definitely is a heartbeat to herself and brings on things and makes things happen. But when you turn to somebody, Doug is like a natural leader. He's a visionary.
I think that comes from his school teaching days, to be honest.
Well, yeah, and that very much could be. He's a visionary. He sees beyond the moment. Okay, and he can embrace what might be coming down the line and say, "Oh, you know, this could happen, or that could happen." You see something in you, in me, and other people, and he just goes with it. He's got great ideas. And
he'll give up anything to keep the peace.
Yeah, he does.
You know, if there's a bit of a disagreement between, I suppose, the whole group, Doug will put himself backwards to just keep the peace and keep the flow, keep the vibes going.
I've seen him do that, and I've also seen where he does have a limit.
Oh yeah. Everybody's got a limit.
That's where his leadership comes in. If I say, okay, this is how it is, and I've seen him do that. Okay, and that's a leader. Okay, you're there to lead. You're not there to what's the right word? Problem solve. I mean, I get that in my own organization. I brought a guy on, and within 20 minutes, he was into a dispute with somebody else, and it's like, you didn't come on to have a fight with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they finally got along, and the guy who, whatever. I mean, I've had as many as 15, 20 people in much smaller scale than Doug's dealing with right now, but we've all been involved with groups and leadership on groups and that kind of stuff, and we have to problem solve and lead. You can't get personal, and Doug is definitely a leader, and that's what I like, and that's what I think keeps it, this thing going. So this year we're looking at 2 days. Hopefully he doesn't go much beyond that, because that's going to. You and I got some.
You think I've got bags under my eyes now? You wait until September 23rd.
I'll tell you what. What was it? 9 days. When I came on, I sat down and said, "We got to get
something like yeah." It wasn't. It was very close to it.
I got to tell you something. I have to apologize, Shaun. Honestly, I came in and he said we got to get online, and I just, I was presented with this bag of everything and how you guys were going to go on, and I thought, this is not how I would do it, and I know I jettisoned the entire thing and started over on how I would do it, and I'm sorry that if I turned everything upside down on you. But
no, it worked. I mean, it worked. At the end of the day, it worked.
Oh yeah, I did. And then I remember the one night I'm sleeping here on the studio floor and paying homage to your pup. I heard that, and that freaked me out. But I mean, I was up most of the time with you, and you were up too. I mean, I think you were only taking cat naps here and there.
Yeah, I think I had about 2 or 3 hours on the 26 hours. Oh.
So it wasn't much. I mean, I slept straight through the following next 2 days. I watched boring TV, and I sat in my chair and I snored a lot. So,
I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep. Even after, I just couldn't go to sleep. I'm not a big sleeper. I'm terrible for sleeping.
Well, that's probably the advantage of living home alone. I live by myself, so I don't have to tell anybody to shut up. So, I mean, we got this big thing going off this year. What are you seeing for next year? I mean, we're starting to get some recognition from the national people here and there. There's some bigger stars, and I mean, I know where we hope it goes, but realistically, you're pretty.
I mean, there's one or two, and again, I've got to thank Nick Prince for this, but I don't know whether you ever heard of the 80s singer Charlene.
You never been to me? She sang.
That's the one. That's the one. I believe she's coming on board. And there's a chap by the name of Spraggy. He's quite a big reggae hip hop star in his own way, in his own little place. So yeah, I mean, there's some decent stuff coming through this year.
Well,
not that last year wasn't decent. Don't get me wrong, but there's some big artists, bigger artists.
We got well, I'm having a show. I'm not sure if he's going to air before or after you here, so I'm just going to kind of drop it here on the table. But Alexis Steele, who's part of Steele Entertainment and Rock in the Valley, she's bringing on board Angie Bowie. Angie Bowie.
Oh, right, yeah.
David Bowie's wife.
Yeah.
David, of course, passed away quite some time ago, so he wasn't available. But we got her. She has a couple other national stars that she's bringing on, and I've been reaching out to some of the nationals that I've talked to. So we've got some people. I mean, eventually we're going to have some nationals that are going to be on here. I can see that happening, and I've always kind of thought of this as being the Not exactly, but I would imagine that this is going to be like the Labor Day telethon that used to go off over here, and it was kind of global. But I think it's going to be much different because this is
I
40
mean,
hours.
it's one of them situations where let's take a. I mean, do you play conkers in the US?
Wait, what?
Conkers, where you know where you smash each other's conker.
With cards? Probably not.
Conker. No, it's like a nut that grows on a tree,
No.
and you. No. All right, let's think of something else then. So let's do a domino roll. You know, when you push your one domino and they all keep going,
Right.
and the more that fall, the more that want to fall. So the bigger we get, the bigger the artists that want to be involved.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying here, definitely. You know, and it's like there's an old adage somewhere that, you know, a crowd draws a crowd. So that's what I think we're going to end up doing. I mean, I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go. I mean, I have a feeling that you and I are going to become shelved eventually for more professional and bigger, production facilities. There's going to be a bigger stage somewhere. You'll see maybe a stage from NBC or CBS or one of the other big guys pick it up, and they're going to have, a camera that's 3 times the value of my home. And guys who have 20 years of experience in cameras doing the work, where you and I are just dangerous amateurs. So
I mean, nothing. I mean, last year didn't go perfect. I mean, we had our problems. I mean, Las Vegas was a classic example. It didn't go as I planned. Although I planned it, it didn't actually run as I planned. I mean, Linda Leak was on about getting me on a plane over into Las Vegas, but I don't think that's happening unless I do better this year.
The thing is, what we're going to do this year is this. And we're going to have a file set up, which I've already got part of the structure set up on the computer, where you're going to be able to just insert. You don't have to do the whole one file, one stage. If you want to break it up, you can. And the playback system will play back by you. It'll be like setting up a DJ records. Boom, 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 boom. It's not going to be, the whole system's not going to want to reset when you go to stick in extra stuff. At the same time, and this is huge, I think, we had people submitting in the 11th hour. It's idiot like, and that was a huge problem. And I realize we're having a bit of a tech meeting here. Anyone want to buy a mic stand cheap? Look at this stupid thing. It just keeps moving towards me. It won't leave me alone. It's like the whole house suddenly slanted. Hang on a second. That's my blooper for this show. Come on, leave me alone. What the hell with you? There. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, we're gonna have this thing set up, with everything, so you can just kind of pick and choose what you need to put in. You can build a playlist while it's playing back, and then the other thing, we're not going to be having people sitting in at the 11th hour, because then that just kind of mentally blows your mind as to where you got to stick them. You have to download it, you have to convert it, and you got to do all that other stuff. We're going to have all that done 2 weeks ahead of time, and that's going to be our biggest thing. And a lot of people are cooperating with that because they realize what a humongous job this is. What would you estimate? How many bands were last year? Acts.
I think over the total stages, I think you've got to have been getting towards the 100 mark, I would have thought.
Okay. I wouldn't even venture a guess. I mean, my stage alone, you and I combined, that much I knew because I was paying attention to that, as far as the count. I was about 10 or 12, and you had at least that, maybe 15. So we had 20 stages last year. But there were some stages that they ran straight through and they just kept bringing people up. So I don't know. I mean, just between you and I is 25, so maybe 100 plus. But anyway, the point is we've, with a 40 to 48 hour show, we're looking at 300 acts, and that's a lot to juggle around. We can't have the people showing up, at the 11th hour saying, "Hey, can you put me in?" Too late, man. It's the thing set up.
And another thing is, last year we had maybe 2-3 stages that were 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And I really can't see that happening this year, because not that it's a problem, it isn't a problem. But if we allow 10 of them to have a 2 hour show, that's a day straight away. And then, I don't think there's going to be any limit, and I think the Guinness Book of World Records will be definitely interested in what we do this year.
Yeah, they were taking a look at us last year, but something I guess we didn't quite make it. So, okay, so we got this next year, and I realize we're pretty much focused for this year. So what are you seeing next year? Where are you seeing? Well, I already asked you that, asked the answer. So we're done there. So we're going to do it again this year, right, man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going.
I can't do the pizzas because the carbs is going to blow me apart. So I'm going to have to sit here and eat like celery for 2 days straight.
Nice cup of coffee. That's what you need.
Well, yeah, I'll get like 2 pots of that stuff going. Yeah, we'll be doing good. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we're doing these weekly shows, and I'm getting. I got a good response off of last week, in spite of I had one sound problem. I grabbed the wrong control and I turned it down because I was adjusting the monitor volume here in the studio, and it turned out I turned down the broadcast volume. So that's OBS. It acts wacky at times. But we had a good showing. I'll show it again. It's up there. Last week's first show is up on Rocket Valley YouTube site. It's on our Facebook site. And I'd like to talk to you about getting them put over onto at the point in time when I broadcast, or just pick it off the site there and put it up over on Coswell and on Phase 5. Just put them up there. You can do it whenever you want.
I mean, there's various outlets we've got now. I mean, I'm just looking now, so we got one.
Well, we'll talk about that off camera, because I want to get those set up as part of our primary broadcast points for Wake Up Rise Up on the 21st. So if I can shoot them right off of our hip, and then we have a few others to talk about. So, all right, man. So,
all right, then, Paul.
All right, Doug. Not Doug. Mother, you're Doug.
Yeah, Doug. It is, but yeah, Doug.
Shaun, no.
It is. My name's Douglas Shaun Tonks.
Shaun, it was great yakking with you again here on Wake Up Rise Up, the weekly show, and we'll talk a little bit afterwards. And I'm going to turn back to my people here. Thank you for tuning in. Here, Steve Jones and Shaun Tonks here, part of the tech team with the Wake Up Rise Up Peace Concert. Stay tuned on Sunday night, 8 o'clock. You'll be hearing more about what's going on between now and the upcoming humongous concert for peace. Thank you very much for watching. Good night now.
Kelly Kors. I'm the founder of Peace Amongst Youth, which is a nonprofit organization based out of Atlantic City, New Jersey. The purpose of my organization is to bring awareness to how our community is impacted by violent crimes and the negative impact it has on us as a whole, poor and untreated. I'm personally in this mission because I lost my 13-year-old son gun violence in 2012. Until today, I'm fighting the justice system for my son who's now.
Please listen to this message for you. It's from the groups of Phase 5 Record Show. When someone said we need to spread the news, we decided to share it through a song. Black crime, white white crime. Stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime. Stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Love your brother, love your sister, please treat them right. Don't wait until they're almost dead to feed the poor, even with a loaf of bread. Yeah.
Let's unite.
Yeah.
'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Wave your hands in the air. Wave your hands in the world. Show the world that we can. Wave your hands in the air. Wave your hands in the world. Wave your hands, you can.
Breaking news is the same old mess. Someone got shot, can't snitch, no arrest. Here's the basic information before leaving Earth. Open up that book, it's all in the Word.
Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land.
Human traffic, kidnapping, this is too wild. Another missing child. Why complain about the politicians you call a joke? In the end, you won't even go and vote.
Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter.
Children, I've come back today to tell the story of the long, hard way that I had to climb, that I had to know, in order that my race might live and grow. Look at my face, dark as the night, yet shining like the sun, the love's true light. I am the child they stole from the sand 300 years ago in Africa's land.